Hi, hey, hello, it's Sunny, and welcome back, my music peeps, to an album review. The Cure. Yes, it's the freaking Cure, dude. Come on, it's a band I've been dying to finally delve into their music ever since I watched one of my favorite shows that heavily utilized their music because of the culture of it. I've been hooked on their alternative new wave gothic punk aesthetic, and now it's finally time for me to check a full record from them. Yet, what better way to check out one of their records by obviously checking out one of the most iconic albums that is truly a trip to endure. Let's get into it, as this is my album review of The Cure's Disintegration. Let's check it out. Some background. The Cure is obviously an iconic band of gothic punk rock kind of music back in the 80s, having moved on in the world of music from half-empty gigs at low-level pubs in England to packed stadiums in Los Angeles. Yet this lifestyle would take a hold on them. After they released the 1987 album Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, and a sold-out world tour, friction was brewing amongst the band, which led to a lot of different, not hate towards each other, but a lot of friction in the group, until eventually all this sort of friction in the band led them to wanting to go back to their more classic, darker roots, getting to work and creating the album we now know as Disintegration. The opener Plain Song is something I really adore. It's quite solid, literally the sounds of a dream. It doesn't do much, yet fulfills its assignment of being the opening song to this album. It sets in a very depressive, dreamy mood and tone, atmospheric, illusional production, and soft vocals from Robert Smith, and the lyricism detailing how it feels like the end of the world. Yet a woman's smile can do so much to make everything feel right. It does a lot and also not a lot, which is just right to set the album to the punch. Pictures of You is a track that really kind of pulled me in. I love how this song is for people who lie on their beds and think about the person that got away. That's the kind of thoughtfulness it's trying to gain at, that sort of direction. The lyricism and delivery of it really pulls you in with just how sad it all is. Yet really the production goes so hard and heavy in its flow. The guitar progression and bass really drown you into it, with not just it feeling dreamy, yet sounding like just like what that feeling is. It's not entirely depressive, yet it's entirely sentimental in that tone to make this a real song classic. Close Down. The last section and progression, it just ascends me. Yet I see this track, I think it's really just a great 1.5 version of the prior song, Pictures of You. It essentially says the same stuff, and it is well delivered, although with a more mellow mood to it all. It's still very solid, yet a more minimal song across the album. Then you have Love Song. It's a classic, come on, man. It's simple lyrics, passionate and sincere delivery, hard as hell instrumentation. There's nothing much I have to say. This is a definitive sad love rock song. You already know it. Boom, there, done. That's all I have to say. Last Dance is a very great song that I believe does things quite differently, so far in the album, as I feel this is the one where the central thematic across the whole album starts to progress, seemingly as now it's a reunion this time lyrically. It's still a sense of nervousness of losing it again. It's quite emotionally compelling, and the sound emulates that feeling beautifully, with a slow, mid-tempo, heavy melody that is repetitious and swimming in its tone to make this a quite captivating track. Then you have Lullaby, which you got me fucked up. This lyricism, high-key, got me terrified. The description just got me horrifically mortified, yet the composition goes hard for no reason, with the violin and clicking tone that makes this one of the most fascinating tracks off this album, because this is pure goth at its core. And it's honestly scary, yet still a jam to listen to. It's just so whispery and feels like something is watching you as you listen to it. Shit is ripped straight out of a horror novel with that level of writing. Fascination Street. I think this is a really solid song. I find it lyrically solid. Nothing sticks out to me personally, though I appreciate its more brief and less straightforward approach. It's really the long build-up that has been in other songs. Yet here it's really long, and yet I enjoy it and it still carries out to the end. The more punk beaming bass line, circling and stringy progression that makes this one of the more musically satisfying tracks across the album thus far. Prayers for Rain is for sure one of the definitive listens. especially in the sense of a rain song, because no duh, it's very obvious. The production really captures that essence of being a rain song. The more soft, slower percussion and tone really drag on in the best way to make you feel this effectiveness, really feel like you're standing out there. It's no more sad or raw feeling, it's just a culmination, and I think this is one of the better of the mood-based singles on this album. The same Deep Water as You has the contender for the best song off this album. If I don't praise the others more than I did this, you already know. I feel like I'm drowning while listening to this, or in a trance, and I mean that in a highly acclaimed manner. This 9-minute masterpiece makes you fall deeply into the vast oceans of a soul-bending trip in its soundscape. The perfectly on-beat striking bass line and brightening tone with the again soft vocals from Smith to make this a track that truly sends you to sleep in the best way. Then of course, you have Disintegration, the track that shares the album's name. This is what the sound of being processed into being cremated sounds like, cause like fuck, I think this and the prior song just entered a whole new level for this album, and it was already pretty peak. Like holy shit, it does everything I adored about the last song, yet entirely different, having a more mid-tempo, slowly faster yet still steady and pummeling flow to the overall composition, and even lyrically, it's catch up with how they both know it was always going to end like this in a sad manner. Like this album just made a complete 180 turn. Homesick. What the fuck is going on? This album just entered another level. This song too is spectacular. When it ended, I feel like I just woke up from a trance, just like the last song. This is fire. It feels like the most dreamy out of the prior two songs. Feeling like a swirling, constantly moving ride I'm in within this blurry, visually distinctive dream, eyes closed and everything around me in motion. That's what the soundscape evokes me in. Like this is closer. Like I already know this next song is just gonna fucking hit, man. Then of course we close the album out with the track Untitled, which is very funny because it's called Untitled, and yet its title is Untitled, so therefore it kind of has a title but also not really. But anywho, what a closer. Again, like every other track on this album, this may just be the best one. The album keeps one-upping itself every track. I mean it. It's just such a perfect bittersweet closer. The writing hits like a motherfucker emotionally, still delivered with the same charismatically mundane delivery from Smith, the present drums, the heavy chord progression, the moodily soothing bass line, and everything in between. I also may have heard this song before somewhere, I'm not sure. My brain cells just communicated and think I may have heard this melody before, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Maybe I'm being biased because of that fact, yet regardless, I really adore this song and think it's this album's best and ultimate closer. What can I say? I'll be honest, until the last 4 tracks, I didn't hate this album, not for one bit. It was never even slow for me. Too slow, honestly. I love my slow, emotionally moody goth rock music. Yet it went from being a great, totally see the praise, adore this kind of album. It went from that to a god tier album just from the last 4 tracks. And it's only because the last 4 were longer, funnily enough. I generally love this album. It has to be one of the most consistent albums I've ever heard. Every song is honestly the exact same in composition, yet so entirely different in execution. The long build-up, repetitious melody throughout, soft mundane vocals from Smith, gravitating chord progression and everything else in between to make this a definitive punk goth album, especially if you're part of 80s culture. This is a mandatory album from that era, regardless of your genre taste, and I can totally vibe with The Cure. They take it slow, yet never easy. It's always the most perfectly sad music to listen to when you need it the most. And that's all I can say. It's been Sunny, and so long, farewell, and goodbye my music peeps.